Assalamu alaikum. This is Prapunti Chakraborty welcoming you to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Misuse of AI and social media might be biggest challenges to ensure free and fair election, apprehends EC. More buyers from US placed from RMG orders from Bangladesh. BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia, uncompromising leader and symbol of democracy, common speakers on her 81st birthday celebration. US President Trump en route to Alaska for talks on Ukraine war with Russian President Putin. And Bangladesh team now in Bhutan to take part in SAF Under-17 Women's Football Championship. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. The Election Commission has begun preparations ahead of the 13th National Parliamentary election. In order to ensure a fair election and restore public trust in the electoral system, the Commission considers the misuse of AI and social media to be the biggest challenge. Election Commission Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed said the mainstream media can provide the greatest support to the Commission in making the upcoming election transparent. He noted that professional journalists, regardless of their platform, can serve as the most effective bulwark against the abuse of AI. The Search and Secretary added that over the past decade, there has been a massive boom in the use of social media in Bangladesh, particularly Facebook, and that AI abusers are exploiting this space. Therefore, to encounter misinformation, the Election Commission will remain active during the upcoming election by providing accurate information through its election app, YouTube channel, and Facebook page. Many American companies have been negotiating to place increased apparel orders from Bangladeshi factories since the retaliatory tariffs imposed by the U.S. administration came into effect. Due to the high tariffs in India and China, American buyers want to shift RMG orders away from these two countries. Besides, many exporters and exporters from India have been contacting Bangladesh's top RMG exporters to produce garments were as part of a strategy to retain U.S. orders in the long term. Exporters said due to the high tariffs on China, a large number of work and orders will shift from there, and Bangladesh may get a share of these orders. Meanwhile, with a 50% tariff on India, Bangladesh could also receive orders diverted from there. The reduction of the retaliatory tariff from 35% to 20% is a relief for Bangladeshi exporters. In the past 2 weeks, two Chinese companies have already signed agreements to invest in Bangladesh. The United States is the single largest market for Bangladesh's exports. In the last fiscal year, Bangladesh exported goods worth $869 crore to the U.S., which accounted for more than 18% of the country's total export earnings. However, analysts said there is no room to be complacent about these tariffs. They opine that RMG sector in Bangladesh must improve efficiency, address infrastructure problems, and keep inflation at a tolerable level. At the same time, there is a need for a product diversification and exploration of new markets. Although demand in the U.S. market may decline due to the retaliatory tariffs, exports will not decrease. Exporters sought necessary support from the government in this regard. BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia, an uncompromising leader and a symbol of democracy, has dedicated her entire life to the welfare of the country and its people, and even today, in this critical moment of the nation, continues to advise the party leadership. Speakers said this during a brief discussion held at the BNP's central office in Neapolton in the capital today on the occasion of Begum Zia's 81st birthday. In the morning, a Khatm Quran and special prayers were offered for her health and long life. BNP Standing Committee members Mirza Abbas and Gayashwar Chandrush Roy, Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi, Joint Secretary General Habibun Nabi Khan Sohail, Chairperson's Advisor Amanullah Aman, and other leaders at various levels of the party were present at the program. Alongside prayers for Begum Zia's long life, prayers were also offered for the departed souls of Shohid President Ziaur Rahman, the martyrs of 1971, and the martyrs of the 1990 and 2024 uprisings. Meanwhile, Chattogram Metropolitan Unit of BNP organized a Dua Mahafil at the Nasimon Bhavan Party office premises in the city, marking the 81st birth anniversary of the party's chairman and former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia. Prayers were offered seeking her good health and long life, and for the forgiveness of the departed souls of martyred President Ziaur Rahman and the brave martyrs of 1971 and the martyrs of 2024 July uprising. Member Secretary of Metropolitan BNP Nazimur Rahman, BNP Central Committee member Shamsul Alam, Joint Governor of the Metropolitan BNP Emi Aziz SM Shaiful, Advocate Abbas Sattar, Shaukat Azam Khwaza, and leaders and activists of BNP and its affiliated organizations were present on the occasion. Now, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump is en route to Alaska for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin, as both of them are preparing for a highly anticipated summit on the Ukraine war. Trump said Putin won't mess around with his at their first one-on-one meeting in 6 years. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is notably excluded from the talks and has warned that decisions made in his absence will be meaningless. Both sides have lost tens of thousands of soldiers since Russia launched its full-scale invasion on Ukraine in 2022. Meanwhile, in the afternoon yesterday, Donald Trump spoke to the media in the White House about his meeting with Putin. Trump said if he weren't president, Putin could take over all of Ukraine, adding that, but he is president and Putin is not going to mess around with him. Trump said he would know in the first few minutes whether he and Putin could have a good meeting, saying that it would end very quickly otherwise. He said his goal for the talk is to set the table for another meeting with the Russian leader and Ukraine's President Zelensky. Israel has faced international condemnation after far-right finance minister Bezalel Smotrich announced his intention to approve the construction of more than 3,000 homes in the E1 area of the occupied West Bank, bisecting land that would be used for a future Palestinian state. UN spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric said Israel's move would put an end to prospects of a two-state solution, while EU foreign policy chief Kaza Kallas slammed the plan as a breach of international law. Meanwhile, Gaza's health ministry said 4 more hunger-related deaths were confirmed in the past 24 hours, raising the total number of Palestinians who have starved to death during Israel's attack on Gaza to 239, including 106 children. Israel's forces have continued their assault on Gaza, killing at least 32 people in attacks across the Strip on Thursday, including 13 aid seekers. Flash floods have killed 46 people in a village hosting Hindu pilgrims in Indian-administered Kashmir. The flooding occurred in the remote village of Chosati in Kishtwar district, which is on a busy pilgrimage route to a famous shrine in the Himalayas. Videos shared online show dramatic floodwaters, vehicles being washed away, and rescuers searching for survivors in damaged homes as people cried in the streets and even more caked in mud. Dozens of pilgrims have been evacuated to safety, but at least 50 people are feared missing and a rescue operation is still underway. Officials with Federal Minister Jitendra Singh, who is also an MP from Jammu and Kashmir, said the floods were triggered by the cloudburst of a massive scale and rescue teams were finding it difficult to reach the site. The MP said a road had been washed away and the weather is not safe enough for helicopters. Now, sports news. Football. Bangladesh U17 women's national football team has reached Bhutan to compete in the SAF U17 Women's Championship 2025. The tournament will be held from 20 to 31st August at the Changlimitang Stadium in Thimphu, featuring 4 teams: Bangladesh, India, Nepal, and host Bhutan. Following a double round-robin league format, each team will face the others twice, with the highest-placed side crowned champions. Bangladesh entered the competition as defending champions, having claimed the title last year with a dramatic victory in the final, decided by a penalty shootout.